Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. This is Salesmate Summer Release, how to elevate your sales, support, and marketing experience. Thanks for joining us. We're going to give everyone a couple more minutes. I know a lot of folks are probably coming in from lunch and maybe joining a bit late. So we're going to wait a couple more minutes and let some more people join. But while we're waiting, we'd love to hear from you. Put in the chat where you're joining us from. Starting out with some international folks. That's awesome. So I'm joining from Charlotte, North Carolina. San Diego, beautiful. Chicago, wish we could get some of that northern weather right now. We're in a heat wave. Lots of Texas folks. Oh, awesome. Another Charlotte native. We got some food recommendations as well. I love this. I've never been to Chicago, but I'm going to take some notes. I'm going to put these down so when I do go, I'll try all of those foods. All right, awesome. So it's a couple minutes after 1. We're going to go ahead and get started. If I haven't already introduced myself, I'm Abby O'Donnell. I'm the marketing manager here at Salesmate. And today I am joined by our head of product, Samir, and also Kamlesh. He's our product specialist. We're excited to have you all here with us today. And thanks so much for telling us where you're joining from. We love hearing that and seeing where all of our customers are at on the map. It's really exciting. But we are equally as excited to unveil some exciting new updates and features that we've been working on since the start of the year. As most of you know, we kicked off this year with the big announcement of Salesmate 3.0. So that included, custom modules, additional custom fields, layout builders, and then advanced reporting features as well, all of which provides more flexibility in managing data within the platform. So we also added new social media integrations as well. And then as promised during the last feature webinar that we had, we launched our ticket management solution about a month ago. So we're going to cover the specifics and also the benefits of that feature in today's session as well. But as part of our official summer release, we're going to be sharing some additional features that maybe you haven't anticipated. These are new features that are going to be designed to help you streamline your processes, improve efficiencies, and most importantly, like I said at the top of the call, help you boost sales, support, and marketing efforts. Throughout the webinar, feel free to ask any questions you have by typing them in the chat. We have moderators that are standing by and they're ready to answer your questions either in the chat panel itself, or we also have a live Q&A session at the end of the webinar. We record every live webinar, so if you're not able to stay to the end, we are going to send out a recording to all the registered attendees. All right, so without further ado, let's dive in and explore these exciting new features together. I'm going to hand it over to Samir.
Yeah. Thanks, Abby, for the warm introduction and sharing, what we have been doing in the first half of 2024 and things we are working on and releasing pretty soon. So this time we are covering one of the feature which is already launched a month back, as you said, ticket management. And I will be sharing screen to talk more in detail. So ticket management, as all of us know, it's pretty important for the support reps because they want to resolve customer queries, issues, problems. Okay, and this gives a dedicated way, like traditional way of handling the support request and resolving it. But it's pretty helpful to the sales team too, because they can get a 360-degree view of the customer within a CRM itself, and that helps them to cross-sell, upsell, or make sure that they are contacting the customer at the right time. And that's why we started, strengthening our support mechanisms within CRM, and ticket management is one of the part to, cover the support initiatives. And not taking much more time, let's check out in-depth demo. So as per the Salesmate 3.0. Ticket management follows the same mechanism, whereas it comes up with pre-built fields, forms, which are in generic like subject, type, whereas you can define different types of tickets, description, priority, source. But you have the ability to design these forms as per your requirement. You can reorder anything, you can create new fields within the system, or you can even customize the layout. So this is what we have already covered in depth, and while we launched 3.0. So it's all the mechanisms are available over here too. We have some other settings, like in deal we have deal pipelines, but in tickets we have types. In background it follows a similar strategy just like the deals, but it has few more features. Let's say while you are having the tickets, should your customers be able to see or interact with them, so you can enable it. Okay. And when you are changing the status of the tickets, so sometimes you have the internal stages, but you do not want to share those internal stages directly with the customers. So when the emails are firing from the ticket management system informing them about the status updates, you can choose what messages will be shared with them. So that's pretty interesting, uh, to control your language mechanism over the tickets. Um, so this is the basic of settings, and tickets can be created in multiple ways. The first, easiest, and simplest way is you can use Salesmate email address. You can forward your support ID emails over here, and tickets will get auto created. And you can also create a ticket manually. So let's say you received an email from the customer, or you are on a call and they complain about certain issue. You can manually log the ticket, and once the tickets are logged, you can carry out further communications over the tickets. So this is more like a listing view of the tickets, whereas we have all information available. Similar way we come up with a board view. You can have more visual appearances, you can handle tickets in a better way, you know where you are focusing in. And let's say we wanted to visit a particular ticket, and over here we can manage the ticket communication. So we are doing email communication with particular customer. If you want to share updates with the customer, like something has resolved or something we are working on, it can be done from here itself. We can drop a reply. But we have few more updates here, like we introduced Sandy in the beta mode. A lot of you guys are using that, and tickets also cover it. So let's say I'm new to this ticket, I'm not sure what is happening in it, and I can just ask Salesmate like, hey, can you summarize it for me, what is happening? And it can generate the whole summary, like, hey, what we have been communicating with the customer over the emails over this ticket. And now I can draft a better response to the customer without going having to go through all those previous responses and deciding what I'm supposed to write down. So this is the tickets. It's straightforward to handle your support queries, but we have the SLA management too. So here you can see, oh, okay, I have 17 more hours to close this ticket. And so SLA, the service level agreements, are pretty helpful while we have certain commitments to the customers. Sometimes might be we have the written contracts with them, or we just want to manage it internally. Let's say we want to track down like whether our team is efficient enough to resolve certain customer queries in the given time, and if not, then we can track out like they need better training. So how these SLAs can be created and managed. So within Salesmate, we have the options to create multiple SLA policies. It can be based on customer types. We can define our own condition, like this SLA should only be applicable when ticket comes from XYZ source, like ticket is coming from phone, or ticket is coming from the email or chat feedback widget, or when we can say when your customer's type is, partner or lead, something like that. So we can create custom status, and accordingly we can define the time, like if it's a low priority ticket, what should be our timeline to resolve it. If it's a high priority, in what time we have to do resolve the ticket. And with the same, we have whether it should be business hour or calendar hours, because there are a lot of teams who are working in 24/7 mode, and then there are particular specific timings, like you might be working from 9 to 5. So this can be configured. So this helps us to focus on the right tickets which requires our attention, to close them or respond them on time. But this also enables us to run escalation policies. Let's say a ticket hasn't been completed within defined time, then someone at the higher level should be escalated and updated. So we can choose individual person or team directly. Like if this is not resolved within a day, then inform, let's say, sales team, that they might have to communicate with the customer, or the higher support team. We can configure as per our requirement. So this way, tickets and SLA helps you to deliver better support. But that's not it. We have a dashboard. We are driving a lot of statistics based on this report, like how many tickets were created, resolved, how many replies were done, average response time, resolution time. And there are lots of different stats can be derived, like tickets handled by users, how many tickets got violated or completed on time, how many are still users are working on that. So this gives us better stats about our team's efficiency and the way they are working. So this is with tickets, and I will be talking about the next thing. Although initially I wanted to keep it as an Easter egg, but team told me no, we should cover it. So there is a hidden feature on the same page, and which goes missing at the first sight. The filters have changed over here. Okay, so right now what happens, we have the default filters too, right? If you are using Salesmate, then you have users, teams, date range, and pipeline. But with our latest releases, we have the tickets, we have custom modules. There are a lot of teams, who have complex data structures. They are capturing a lot of information over the custom modules, and this default filters might not be a proper fit for them. They require features to, let's say, drill down certain reports. So we have this ticket summary, and let's say if I want to only see this summary only based on the tickets which are marked as urgent. Okay, so these reports got plotted accordingly, and these filters can be customized for every dashboard. So let's say I have another dashboard which is only related with customers, and I want to run this report based on industry, and I can just choose an industry, like show me this based on retail industry, and I can filter this out. So with this new update, we have option to choose what sort of quick filters should be available on my screens. And not only on the screens, you have options to drill down or configure your widgets using the similar drill downs. So let's say we can run the reports, and the filters gets applied, whatever we want to put it from the dashboard, and accordingly you can verify the data. So this advanced dashboard filters will be available over the weekend, and there are a lot of other things which we are just going to cover. So we started our part about how to manage support in a better way, and there are a few more updates which covers the support part. So in case if you are working with B2B customers, and you are providing chat mechanism to them, and you wanted to see, how many different users from their company has been communicating with you. So with our this update, we can see chats which have been done with multiple users from the same company. So we have brought this new widget which consolidates chats at the company level, and we can see what is happening at with each and every individual user associated with that company. And if you want to talk with them, we know if their colleagues are facing any issue, or if there are any challenges, or we have been talking some sales inquiries with some other person over different chat. So better stats gives us a better idea to talk with the customers. And as I said, when you have better idea, there is better opportunities to satisfy the request or even do better cross and upsell. So this one is all about checking out the conversations. But now we have also come up with the option whereas you can do a proactive communication using Salesmate with your customers. So let's say you have installed chat widget on the website, and some customer is visiting certain page. You wanted to send a message, not automatically because that we already have it, but manually, or you want to do a communication. So we have different options, like you can start a chat from here. You can select whether you want to send a WhatsApp message. So with our WhatsApp integration, now we have outbound message support too. Or you can decide to send a chat message itself, and you can select a template, or you can type down your own message. You can also see a preview, like this is how the message will be delivered, or if I want to deliver it as a pop-up, how it will appear at the customer screen. So you can choose those options and start proactive communications. Do not wait for them to initiate the chat, and sometimes we can proactively talk with them, share certain concerns, or offers with them. So that's a great way of handling support or even sales queries if you are doing it using the chat widgets. And we have been working. So this is all about support, but we have more features and updates available for the sales or generic features too. And one of the feature whereas we have worked is empowering our record widgets in much more better way. So as you remember, we launched different layouts within Salesmate with 3.0 release, and we can design different sort of widgets. But now these widgets have more power, whereas we can choose, how do you want to customize that? Okay, let's say these both are the activity widgets, but now we have option, whereas I can say, I can put additional filters, like this widget only show open activities, or this one only show the closing activities. And I can also enable my custom sort order, like, hey, this widget should show the data based on completed date, because while I'm seeing completed activities, they should appear in the order, whatever I closed last should appear at the top and the previous one. But if I am talking about the open activities, the same widget configured in different way, whatever the next activity I have due should appear first and then the others. So with this update, you can control over the data. You can filter out as you want. You can put a lot of different conditions on the module fields. You can put the sort orders. You can have the visibility rules. So that's one update. And second, while you are displaying particular record fields on the screen, you had the options like whether you want to show selected fields or you want to show all fields. But if you are wanting to show all fields, and then our record widgets like contact record widgets do have certain pre-configured fields, and you do not want those fields to be repeated. You do not want your precious space to be wasted. So you can choose like exclude certain fields. Like I do not want first name or last name, mobile, email, job title to appear in the widget because everything is covered at the top. So while you are creating your own customized layout, you have better control over the fields, what you want to display on screen or hide it. So you can save a lot of precious space, and same way you can show the data which is more important. And this is like a platform wide update, so it's available in all the modules on all the layout screens. You can go and check out by your end. And after that, I would like to talk about one of the feature, whereas we got a lot of requests from you guys. It's multiple signatures. So if you are using different email addresses, outbound email addresses within Salesmate, and you want to have a different signature for each email, or let's say you want to decide a different email address while you are, or sorry, different signature based on the audience to whom you are sending an email. So this is what we got a lot over chat or community forums, and now we have this feature available. So while we are creating an email, I have the option, like if I'm using my personal email address, I can have a different signature. But if I change my email ID, the signature got changed. So within settings, we can control about which signatures should be available with each outbound email address or connected accounts. Or I can even manually change, if in case if I have created multiple signature for the same email address, I can manually change it, like, hey, I just want to use this signature for a particular email. So we can control that. So this feature which you requested is available over this weekend while we are releasing this new update. So feel free to use it, share your feedback, and I will be moving to one more update, which is better field names. Now, this is something will not impact in terms of the way we were using functionalities. Let's say, we are composing or we are creating any email templates within the system. Okay. And we have habit of placing the variables over there. And in previous editor, the variables, if there are custom variables, they were using internal names. Like if there's a text field, and you might have seen your email or text templates, they use internal name like custom field 32, custom field 34. And sometimes if you are just checking that email template after a few months, you might not remember like which field you have used. So with our latest update, we have provided more user-friendly names. These names appear from while you create the field, you provide internal names, and now you can utilize that. So if you will be checking out those field names, they are much more better and readable format. So this is one of the internal update which will make your life a bit easier. And let me talk about one more feature, whereas we kept on getting the requests. that's sort of a dark mode. So it's very simple, if I'm just going to any of records, or let's say dark mode, if I'm just enabling a dark mode, on a click you can just switch between different modes, and this will be available. So hopefully you are going to enjoy that. And that's where I have covered support and the basic platform updates, but there is something more, and I would like Kay to cover that particular part. Okay.
Thank you, Sam. Those were indeed amazing updates that you shared with us and walked us through them. And that's actually great lunch. Some good food for thought from sales and sales and support. So now it was just what I can say is the main course is done, as well as the starters are done. And sorry for the order. So now what we have is the desserts for the marketing team, and and that's the Facebook leads at integration is what we have got. And this Facebook lead, I'm super excited to show you what exactly this is. So let me just go in, share my screen, and walk you through it. Right. Yeah. So let's go in and let's go to setup. We go into apps and add-ons. And under the available apps is where you have the Facebook ads. We'll authorize your account. Let's give it a minute. We've already connected it. So here, otherwise it will give you options to select which business do you want to put it for. You can select the businesses you like, or select them all and future businesses. Continue, go in with the pages that you would like to include, and give in the permissions. So once you're done, just hit save. And there you are. And your account is connected. Just click on got it, and it authenticates, and we've connected accounts successfully. So here you could connect multiple accounts. Just click on new and you'll have your multiple accounts connected. Now here it gives you two options, the form and the audience. Form is what you can capture your leads from the Salesmate from the Facebook forms. Let's connect one. I can connect my lead form, and as I've connected, it asks me for the account that I want to put it from, the page that I want it on, and the form. You could do multiple forms as well, and it gives you a time frame. So you can pull in leads either right from the beginning, that is for new leads that are coming in, or 90 days back in time. And as we go next is where you can, these leads which have come in is where you have an owner being assigned to them. Select the owner that you want to assign it to. Give it a type. Ideally, it would be a lead. Or otherwise, according to your use case, you can actually put in lead, prospects, whatever you define, you can define the contact type. Put them in a list. Associate them with a tag. So here, I have already got a Facebook leads. Otherwise, I can create one new list and put them there. Associate with a tag. Let's say I'm putting it Facebook. So that's these lists and tags help you run automations on it. These acts as trigger points, which will help you automate the entire process of having your leads go in, and you can use them for automations like lead nurturing, lead segregation, lead segmentation, and lead assignment, or any other use cases that you might think of in terms of automating your leads and assigning them to different people in your organization. And once you've done this is where you have the form fields. If it's matching the name, they'll automatically be mapped. You are saved of the hassle of mapping them. If there's a mismatch, you can always click and correct them and match to the right field. When you go next is where we've also got you covered on the marketing consents. These marketing consents are an essential when it comes to marketing, and to help you, you can actually relate them and get ready for your marketing campaigns. Whether you're going to send newsletter, you're going to put them, do promotional activities with the contacts that you're capturing via these forms, is where you can actually select the consent type for the category you are placing them under, and confirm and start the sync. It's as simple as this. You've connected, you're syncing, your forms in, and your leads are coming in. That was lead forms. Guys, if you have any questions around this, feel free to put them on the chat and we should be able to answer them for you. So that was lead capture that's coming into your system. Once you've captured the lead, is you want to do more. So we don't stop at that. We give you the audience as well. The same steps is what you need to follow. With the lead audience is where you can actually sync the Salesmate lists to your audiences, and which helps you actually focus on the customers that you have. Like an ideal customer profile that you have, you can put it in and focus on, focus on the specific campaigns that you want to go around with them. So I'll go into the audience. It's the same place. You go to setup and you have under the automation is where you have the audience. And here is where you can connect the audience. The same credentials will be used. You've already connected, so we're not going to do anything on that part. Select your ads account. You can have multiple ads accounts based on different companies. Just select those, select the list that you want to put it under. I have a retail campaign that I want to run, and I want to put it under my website audience. That is the audience which I have on my Facebook. And it's simple click, you sync, and your campaign is connected. And that's where your syncing starts with the audience. Now it doesn't end at that. As you know, this is just a bit of it. We've got automations around it. So the power of automations is which can actually drive your entire marketing force around giving you one more avenue to pitch upon. Your sales team must be calling, sending texts, emails. That's the regular part of it. You get one more avenue, that is Facebook ads as well, which you can focus on and cash upon. I'll browse you through some automation that I've put in. A quick thing which you can, it's once you have the list, and it's syncing with your audience, now you will have more data coming in time and again. Either it would be a contact create, or it would be some update that you're putting in on the contacts, and you want to put it some list, right? That's where you can do a simple automation, or you could have any use case that you have which you can cater to, and you can add them to the list automatically. So automations help you automate this. And if you have anything around it, guys, feel free to connect to my team over chat or an email, and we should be glad to pick it up and help you with it. I believe that was it. Sam, do you want to open the cookies? You're on mute, Sam, if you're speaking. Sorry.
Yeah. So thanks, Kamlesh, for explaining this. I have one more thing, which is major part of this webinar. So we talked about support, sales, marketing, but how do we measure about the performance of our team? And we are coming up with one more feature which we are launching, that is goal management. So in Salesmate, we already have a goal management, but that is a bit limited. So we had this apps within apps and add-ons, whereas we had revenue and count-based goals only. okay, sales revenue and the won deals. But with, growing features, we feel that this is limited and we have to, provide better performance and results across all the modules. So we are going to replace older goals with the newer one, which has a lot more features inbuilt. And this is the new goals, which is available, in your reports and dashboard sections. While we try to create a goal, we can describe like what sort of goals do we want to capture. Okay, so let's say deals, revenue, what do you want to measure? So we have predefined templates from where you can choose like number of deals created, one, revenue, forecast, even for the tickets, or number of calls your team perform. Or let's say you have the people whose work is only to create the leads and just put it in the CRM, and somebody will be just doing the calls about that leads. So you can create different type of goals within here, and you can measure it. But that's not all. You can create a custom goal too. So let's say I want to capture fields or capture certain values according to my need. I can choose a module, like it can be a custom module or it can be any of the pre-created module. I can select the module, I can select the field whereas I want to capture, I can select the aggregation, whereas this will be the sum, average. So let's say if I'm measuring the number of calls done, so I will be just doing the count. But if I'm measuring, the revenue generated by each employee by closing or winning the deals, then I might be doing the sum. And a similar way, the date, which contributes towards the goal. So let's say creating context is on the creation date, because you want to measure it, in particular duration the accounts were created. But closing calls is more on completion date. So you can choose your date parameters. Okay, similar way, who will be the contributor? Creator, owner, completed by, it depends on the kind of goal you're tracking. So you can actually choose the right contributor within the CRM who will be tracked against this goal. And then you can choose, who will be contributing towards this goal. Are you measuring at the user level or at the team's level? So a lot of time you just wanted to see, how the South team or Charlotte team is doing, how New York team is doing. So you can create team level goals. You can have internal event competition too, or you can have the user level goals. And not only this, we can put up condition. So let's assume my goal is on number of calls to be done. But then I say, if any call is less than 1 minute, shouldn't be counted against the goal. Okay, might be the person hasn't paid enough attention, or he hasn't tried enough to interact with customer or share, our offerings to them. So we can provide additional conditions, and then just hold on. We can move next. We can choose the contributors, like I want to select the users, define the goals for them. I can also choose, because as I was creating D-level goals, it is asking me whether it's across the pipelines, particular pipeline across the pipelines. So this is even one more option. In the previous version, it was a limitation, like you cannot measure it but on particular pipeline, but now you do have the options. And whether you want to put up a goal manually for every user, or you want to just set a bulk goal approvals, like, hey, every user is supposed to win $2,000 per month. Okay, so we can do it bulk. We can also change that, and then we can decide, once a goal is created, should we automatically update the users based on the kind of goal was created, whether it's weekly, monthly, quarterly? Should they get notification like, hey, new goal is starting, or if they achieved it, then should they be congratulated about, yeah, you achieved the goal. Okay, you have your quota, thanks, and updates. And the other option is permissions. Do you want this goal to be visible to the team members, whosoever is involved within the goal? So sometimes you just want to create a positive competition, like they can see how their teammates are performing, and might be they have to do even better. So it's like motivator. Once the goals are created, they start calculating in the background. Okay, we can see any of our previously created goals and the amounts which are tracked against that. Just hold on. So we can see how different users are performing. This is the overall goal. If I want to check, I can check for a particular person, what was their target, how many of them they have achieved it. So we have even detailed reports month by month or weekly as per the goal was created. But not only this, we can merge these goals with reporting. So let's say if I'm creating a report and it's a new report, I'm creating on the deal level, deal counts one. Let's say it's on deals. I'm moving next, and I'm just creating a chart level report. Let's say based on close date. Okay, and I just wanted to see the number of deals were completed. Okay, and I can put a frequency, let's say monthly, and system will automatically try to suggest me any goal which is matching to that particular part. Just hold on. So if I say close deals value, okay. I'm just trying if I have already created any goal which is matching to that. Sorry for that. Okay, I think it's a last moment, whereas I do not remember the period what we created, because but it actually gives you option of the similar period, the similar values you have chosen, and you can run the goal accordingly. We'll be sharing a detailed documentation about it, so you can configure it from your end too. And let me just switch my screen just before we open up the fortune cookies. So it's all about the future releases, the things we are working on, and we'll be releasing in our next few versions. Okay, so I think my slide is visible, and few things whereas we are working is one is this duplicate management. So right now within Salesmate, we have the options, whereas you can detect duplicates based on email address, based on phone numbers, but in the import, it automatically takes care of those rules. But while you are manually creating records, it only gives you an option like, hey, duplicate record is already there. Do you want to create a new one? Okay, but now we are giving you option, whereas you can define your own rules. You can say, I wanted to run the duplication logic on the first name or last name, or you have some internal field and you want to run logic like, say, a file number, and then you decide, what happens if there is a duplicate. Do you want to just simply alert the user, or you want to stop them from creating any duplicates? Okay, so you can run CRM logic on much restrictive policies. You can define that, and you can control your data in a better way. The next one is quotations. So Again, it's more interesting feature, whereas we have been delivering a lot on the support, but this one will be on the sales. So in the sales, while we are working with customers, we have the deals, and we are creating internal documents, but there are the chances whereas customers asking for a formal quote, and within CRM we are going to cover it. So whereas you can create quotations, you can print the document, you can even take digital signatures over the quote. So you do not have to use multiple tools just to get a quote approved from the customer, and that's something coming in within the Salesmate pretty soon. We will keep you updated. And last but not the least, we are improvising our AI level features, and one of the next update which will be included will be the call transcription. So if you are using Salesmate calling, you are communicating with your customers, you can, system can automatically transcribe your calls. It can generate AI summaries, and you can do a conversation over the calls. You can, share feedback with your teammate, whether he has performed in a good way at certain parts or whether he needs improvisations. So you can, share emojis, put comments, and the system can automatically identify the different kind of discussion, like pricing discussion, competitor discussion. So the AI can identify those parts and can track it within the calls. So you can search, listen them, and help them to improvise wherever it's needed. So I think that's it, team. This is all the things we are working on and will be released in upcoming versions. Um, I would like to move forward to the QA section. Abby, do we have questions with us?
Yes, we do. Thanks so much, Samir and Kamlesh. That was very informative. We covered a lot of ground today. So as expected, there are some questions that have come in. So we're going to just jump right into those. First up, something we talked about on the last release webinar was social media integrations, and I know you touched on that again today. But I think one that is on the roadmap for us, but still not yet launched, is the LinkedIn extension for Chrome. Do we want to talk a little bit about that one specifically, or about any other updates coming within the social media integration realm?
Sure. So within, it's sort of social media, but as we launched with Facebook Audience Sync, we are also coming up with the Google Audience Sync, and we are talking with LinkedIn for LinkedIn audience syncing. We have requested APIs, and if we get the approval, because LinkedIn approvals are a bit hard. If we get it, then we are building that feature. But the Chrome plugin is definitely, we have started working on. It's a different team which is running this. So this should be available soon. We will try to cover it in the next quarter, but definitely before the end of this year. So LinkedIn Chrome plugin is definitely coming. Audience sync, it depends on the approval part.
Yeah, thank you. That's really helpful. A couple other questions around specific features. One that came up was three-way calling. Is there a status on adding a feature like that to the platform?
We have been doing the R&D. We have certain, like in the three-way calling, if you are adding multiple participants, how we can handle it. So yes, it's on our roadmap. Just after the call transcription, we are going to work on that. So we do not have the exact launch date, but yes, it's on our roadmap.
Okay. Awesome. And Mark had brought up a couple of good questions in the chat. I saw him going back and forth with one of the moderators, but it might be good for the rest of the audience to hear too. We went over a lot of different updates and a lot of different features, but I know that, Salesmate comes with, plan based in terms of the old plan, and then there's some latest plans as well. Can you give maybe just a high level, overview of some of the features that you mentioned today? Which plans would they kind of be under? What basic features would be under certain plans on the old one or the new one, or is everything covered with the latest plans?
So we have talked about a lot of features, and of course there are the different plan based. So let's say all the features with the conversation related, doesn't matter if you're on the old plan, new plan. If you're using, chat conversation, it will be available irrespective of the plan you are on. The goal management, it will be available on the old plans too, but it has certain limitations, like on the basic or the legacy plan, you will get the same functionality which you were using before. On the newer plans, you will get custom goals too, because custom modules are only available at the higher plans. So while you have the custom modules, you can create all, custom goals and all that stuff. So we'll be launching our features over this weekend, we'll be sharing all the support articles and the plans they are being covered in.
Yeah, that's a perfect segue. You mentioned support articles. We had a question come in about, is there a knowledge base or an article library? Where can folks go to see kind of these support materials that you were just alluding to for some of these new features?
So it's support.salesmate.io. We have a lot of support articles, as well as we have been putting a lot of videos these days. If you want to learn certain feature, we have the video library too. So yes, it's available.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
and
so I can just
go ahead.
read, create a help article similar to how Intercom had. Yes, we are working on knowledge base and certain chatbots, automated chatbots, which can also learn from the knowledge base and help customers to resolve that. We are working on that, but we do not have the solid deadlines to deliver that feature. That's why it's not shared within this webinar, but might be within a month we will do one more update and we will share more updates.
Yeah, I'm glad you saw that too. And then it might be helpful for one of the moderators if we can put that link that you mentioned too in the chat, just in case someone needs to refer to the articles that are existing on the site already and those to come. Let's see. Keith had a pretty specific question. I'm going to read it out loud for you, Samir, and maybe you could help him. It says, when it comes to the pipelines, is there an easier way to scroll right and down? I have to minimize my screen in order to see the pipelines, or scroll all the way right and then down, and then have to backtrack left to see stages and pipelines. Is that making sense to you? Could you help Keith with that?
I think we can connect on one-to-one basis to understand this, because in Salesmate 3.0 we created the stage-wise scrolls, because a lot of customers has too many deals. They do not want to slow down the performance, and that's why we made a UX level change. But we can connect and we can see what are the issues, if there are any challenges, and we can surely work on our UX part.
Yeah, that's good. Parker had a question. Are there plans to build an open API?
Yes, it's a pretty interesting question. And by the end of the year, we are coming up, app framework and OpenAI things. It's a lot of things. I do not want to, share everything right now. It's like a bit premature, but yes, it's coming in.
Okay, awesome. And I see Pratesh has put in those support articles, the link to those, and then also our YouTube channel where you guys can go and learn more about the existing features. And then we'll be updating those for the ones that we covered today as well. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. We have about 5 more minutes. Thank you all so much for joining the webinar today. We hope you're as excited about these new features as we are. If you have any further questions, or if your question wasn't answered or fully answered on the call today, please feel free to reach out to our support team. That's on the website, but we'll also put it in the chat too, just to remind you how to get in touch with us in the fastest and easiest way possible. We'd be happy to help you and get those questions answered for you. But have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.